Good day everyone. In this video, I will be sharing some of what I learned on a topic from my previous classes in general biology. It is about the field of taxonomy and systematics. Okay, let's start defining those words, taxonomy and systematics. Taxonomy is a branch of biology that deals with the classification and organization of all living things, including us humans. It is a discipline in which organisms are being studied and compared to each other based on their traits and race, phenetic and genetic traits. It also includes the naming of species based on their clan and based on their structures. Systematics is also a branch of biology, but it deals with the evolution and diversification of a species, as it goes through different generations until it reaches the current or the distinct generation of their species. It includes charts, graphs, and diagrams to represent the relationships of species. It shows how organisms evolve and diversify into branches of species. Carolus Linnaeus was a Swedish botanist who established a ranking system of classification, and he is mostly known as the father of modern taxonomy. Taxonomy is significant to us humans. Why do I say so? Personally, because taxonomy is used to identify the diversity of living organisms, to show the relationships between them, and to possibly trace the origin of their species. How would I define speciation? Speciation is a process of evolution of a species through generations, creating branches of variety of organisms until it reaches the distinct or the current species. In giving scientific name to an organism, we use the binomial system of nomenclature. These are some of the rules in giving a scientific name to an organism. Number 1. The first word of scientific name is the genus to which an organism belongs. Number 2. The second word of scientific name is the species identifier. The first word of scientific name is always capitalized, but not the second word, the species identifier. Additionally, the scientific name is sometimes written in italics or being underlined. What is phonetics? It is a method of organization and classification of species with the same phenotype. It uses phenotype rather than genotype in classifying and organizing organisms in a group. It shows the relationships between organisms with the same phenotype. What is phenogram? It is a branching diagram showing the relationships of species between each other based on their phenotype. The characteristics of species that are visible to our naked eyes are called phenotype. By the way, in this diagram, you can easily identify the species with the same phenotype. What is cladistics? Cladistics is a method of organization and classification of all living things with the same phenotype and genotype. It forms a group known as a clade in which organisms have the same characteristics, the race or origin of such a clan, and evolution. It shows the relationships between organisms within a clade. What is cladogram? It is a branching diagram that shows the relationships between living organisms within a clade. It displays the representation of a group consisting of species with a common origin and characteristics. It usually answers the question, what do they have in common? There are three domains in Linnaean system of classification: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Here is what I know about domain bacteria, about the domain bacteria. It is a large group of unicellular or single-celled organisms, and those organisms are prokaryotes. What is the domain archaea? Archaea is classified as a bacteria initially. It consists of unicellular organisms or single-celled organisms, and those organisms are considered prokaryotes. The domain eukarya is consisting of multicellular organisms or eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are organisms with eukaryotic cells, the cells whose nucleus is within the nuclear envelope. The main difference between these three domains is what their cell walls contain. The cell wall of organisms in the domain archaea has peptidoglycan. On the contrary, some organisms in the domain eukarya have a cell wall made up of polysaccharides. And the organisms from the domain bacteria have a cell wall that contains neither peptidoglycan nor polysaccharides. Peptidoglycan is a substance forming the cell wall of organisms in the domain archaea, consisting of glycosaminoglycan chains interlinked with short peptides. polysaccharide. A polysaccharide is a large molecule made of many smaller monosaccharides, which are also known as simple sugars like glucose. Special enzymes bind these smaller monomers together, creating large sugar polymers or polysaccharides. What is phylogenetics? Phylogenetics is a part of systematics that studies the evolution and diversification of all living things from the past to the present generation. It is from the Greek word phylon, which means tribe, clan, and race. It shows how a species evolve and diversify into branches of organisms as they go through generations. Carolus Linnaeus established the taxonomic hierarchy, also known as the Linnaean system of classification. It consists of 8 ranks from general to specific: domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Before the discovery of Linnaean system of classification, the basis for classifying and organizing species is their morphological structures.